Okay, so now we're up on the roof here at the House of Horrors. And what we're looking at is what we call the Chimney Chase. Now I want to caution you a couple things. Number one, this can be a causation for a structure fire. Number two, I want you to be aware, this is where water gets in very easily. And I also want to add this, many chase covers across the country are what I consider to be substandard. And I'm going to show you a couple things about it. Now, one of the key things is, if this chase is not ventilated properly, there's several things that can happen. Number one, we can overheat the combustibles. This chimney pipe is made to be 2 inches away as a rule from the framing members. Now, if we build up heat in this area from overheating that chimney pipe, we can start a structure fire. And many times in today's world, we're finding chases that are catching on fire. Now, you're not seeing this reported usually as a chase fire because fire departments don't have a methodology for reporting a chimney chase on fire, and they call it a chimney fire. But it's actually a chimney chase fire. Now, you can't ascertain what the clearances are inside of this chase. There's measurements you can take and you can come up with some estimates, but again, we're talking about an area that is inaccessible. But now I want to talk about the area that is accessible and can be seen from the ground. Whenever I came up, I told the staff here, hey, you guys have built a great bad chase cover, okay? Let me explain why. Number one, it's not made very well. You can see it was been on sites and there's all kinds of areas that water can get in. This is one of the things that I want you to look for whenever you're inspecting a chase. The chase cover, to properly do its job, should step out past the chase. That way when the water hits the top of the chase, it will go to the edge of the chase and run off to the roof or to the ground. In this case, the water is going to run down the chase, and if the chase has any gaps, any openings, the water is going to get into the chase, which is going to cause premature deterioration that could result in mold. It could result in mildew. It could result in rot and all kinds of issues, and actually rot out the floor that's supporting the fireplace and other places. Another key consideration is many factory-built fireplaces are going to require this chase to be ventilated. And what that means is air has got to be able to enter the chase to keep the chase area cool, and also to go down to give the fireplace the air it needs in order to cool it. So you can see this from the ground. You're going to be able to determine this many times without ever getting on the roof. The next thing comes into play. How do you secure the chase cover to the chase? Well, you can see here we have drive-in fasteners that are here, but you got to make sure that whatever material you're using to connect this chase cover to this chase are of the same material. Show you an example. If this chase cover is made out of stainless steel and these fasteners are made out of galvanized steel, we're going to have what's called galvanic corrosion, and you're going to see rust forming. So what you're looking at when you're looking at the chase, if you see any rust stains, anything like that, it's a sign of deterioration. Also, many chase covers are flat. The water doesn't run off of them. If we look at this particular fireplace, you can see we've got an open gap here. Driving rain can go into that. Many of these will require a storm collar to prevent that water from getting and going into it. So what you want to do again is see what the manufacturer's installation instructions are. If there's a concern, then raise them in your report and simply report it, and it may be time to get an expert in chimneys in to give that final decree of is it good or it's bad. What you've done when you've done this, you have passed along the liability. You had last clear chance to issue warning. And failure to warn is one of the areas that will involve subrogation. So what you want to do when you find situations like this, it's your job to report the things. I know that people don't want to hear bad things, but that's what they're paying you for, is to give that report on what's there. So take a good look at that. Also, the chimney cap. Is the chimney cap the right chimney cap for that particular fireplace? And that's going to be one that's difficult to observe sometimes. So again, if the wrong chimney cap is on the chimney, what can happen is we can halt that cooling air coming in. Different chimneys, different fireplaces, different systems are all going to cool from various different sources of bringing that cooling air in. But a factory-built wood-burning fireplace usually work on use of air as an insulation material, and the air has got to be able to move through. So anyway, that's our view here from this side. Now we're going to go and look at a regular roof flashing next that you may see come through. This is a Chase installation, but many times you're going to see the vent pipe, the chimney pipe, is going to be vented through a roof flashing, which may be called a roof jacket or a roof boot, depending on where you're from. So stay with us here. We're going to another location here next. So here we are. Again, we're still at the House of Horrors here in Boulder, Colorado. So now what we're going to look at is going to be a conventional roof flashing with a metal vent pipe or a metal chimney Class A coming through it. Now what you're going to notice here is that we've got a pipe coming through a metal flashing system. And the first thing I want to caution you on, a lot of people think that the pipe should be sealed or siliconed in some way to that flashing. Nothing is further from the truth. What you've got to understand is when these vent pipes heat up, they will grow. And when I say they grow, they're going to get wider and they're going to get taller. So if you've sealed the two together, what this is going to result in, you could damage the roof by picking up that flashing and raising it up in the air. You could also break the silicone. That could be an issue, and you could halt it from proper cooling action. There's a reason that part is left open. Now above that, what you're seeing is you're seeing the storm collar. The storm collar should come down and come all the way down to the flashing, and the storm collar is then silicone sealed to the vent pipe. Okay, this is all the things that are vastly important about these chimney systems, is knowing what you can do, what you can't do, and being able to do it properly. Again, have your eyes open, know the bad sides of doing something wrong, make sure it has a storm collar on it, make sure the storm collar is sealed to the pipe itself, make sure the pipe itself is not sealed to the flashing, and also keep in mind that many flashings are going to be built with ventilation ports where air can actually flow out of that flashing. They're there for a purpose. Don't cover them up, and if they are covered up, you need to recommend they be uncovered where the system can breathe. Appreciate you joining us today. My name again is Jerry Eisenhower. What we've shared with you today is two types of the gas fireplaces you're going to see in homes that you inspect. This is all part of InterNACHI TV, which is a continuously ongoing effort to educate the home inspectors of America. So stay with InterNACHI TV. They're providing the best education they can for you, and they're going to really help you get to your dreams.